second.
Sorry about that. Choking on a leprechaun. Little bastard went down the wrong way. All right, all right now. So, just some food for thought. Christianity is the world's largest religion. Still is, kind of just. About a third of people in the world, all people in the world, a third of them are Christian. Almost all of them follow the same narrative, the same general ideas, some differences here and there, but there's certain things that they all pretty much, almost all of them believe in. And they believe in the idea that Mr. Jesus was to send the Holy Spirit. And their interpretation is almost universal across Christianity, is that the Holy Spirit is an invisible voice in their head that's going to tell them secrets. A third of all people in the world believe that. I don't. But I don't disagree with other stuff that's within Christianity at all. No, not at all. But I certainly don't believe in there's an invisible voice in my head, and I don't think anyone who says that they're getting secret messages from God by an invisible voice in their head that they can't prove has any credibility, and I'm pretty sure you're not safe around them. I'm also pretty sure that most Christians believe that there must be failed Christians because they're not getting these mystery voices in their head. But the people that claim to be receiving voices are always getting all money off them to give them fake prophecies and stuff like that never happen. Got to give them money. And I don't think most of them are crazy either. They're just fucking evil. So a third of all people believe in an invisible voice in their head telling them secrets. And this idea doesn't even come from, Jesus never even said this. But this whole idea comes from a bunch of drunk idiots that Jesus criticized over and over for being fucking idiots. They got drunk. Everyone was making fun of them because they're getting all stupid, philosophizing thug lifestyle, and come up with this fucked up idea that invisible voices in their head. That's where that shit came from. Jesus said nothing like that in their Christian narrative. This comes from a bunch of fucking crazy drunks. A third of all people. But I'm the one that everyone calls crazy. I've got some fucked up ideas, I say. I don't pretend they're not. Don't say I'm fucked up. I deliberately say it. I deliberately do it. But also mean it, and it's also true. We'll get to that. But about a third of people in the world believe that. Really. Now let's go to the next one. 25%, quarter of the world of people. This is completely different other people who are fighting those first people. These are the ones that are killing the first people. These people also believe in invisible voices in their head. But the invisible voices isn't telling them to kill the stupid drunk hippies. They've got to kill the stupid drunk hippies that I just mentioned. These are Muslims. 25%, every single Muslim without fail. It's a lot stricter than Christianity. Every single Muslim believes that the perfect man, as they call it, he didn't really die. He he didn't die cursing Jews and Christians and shit after getting poisoned for killing people and shit. No, the different narratives. Fuck that shit. There's all inconsistencies everywhere. Fuck that shit off. The popular narrative, as the tradition goes and the books say, he flew off into the sunset on a flying horse with a human head on it, and must have been into space with where it was like with spaces made up of 6 giant goats squashed between a giant fish or some shit. But anyway, he flew off into the sunset on a flying horse with a human head after watching the moon split in two. Moon's still here. But they also the perfect man also told them to cure AIDS and shit, pretty much every disease. You got to drink camel piss, and you've got to eat flies. And if someone's sick, the way to cure it is to suck on their tongue. That's their cure. You got the cough, you got the flu. Someone's got to suck on your tongue. This reminds me of Africa. In places now, Africa. You know what they do in Africa to. I'll get to that. I'll try to remember to get to that. It's pretty fucked up. But that's 25%. So it's 33. I say 33, 25. We're over half the world thinks these things. But I'm the one everyone wants to call funny names. Next, we'll go to Hinduism. Yep. Okay, so Hinduism, it's pretty much exclusive to India. But it's a bit more complicated than that. But it's pretty much Hinduism strictly restricted to India. They believe in karma. They also believe in like human elephants and having 6 arms and shit like that. And oh shit, that doesn't even. I don't think it even translates into logic or English. But 6-armed blue people elephant shit are, but the fancy crew or whatever. I can't think of a name to think of them. But they believe in reincarnation and karma. You know what karma is? We always hear this in the West. Karma, as though it's some kind of good, peaceful, blah 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 thing. Karma means basically what you do will come back to you. You do good, you get. You do bad, you get bad, come back to you. You do good, you get bad, good, come back to you. So, merged with reincarnation, what this means is, and this is what Westerners don't know. This is why India is so fucked up. Karma means that if you see someone who's like being raped in the street or some shit, you look at that person and you say, serves you fucking right. That's your karma for a past life. Because according to their rules, if you're anything bad that happens to you is punishment for what you did in a past life. Too bad they can't prove it. That's a bit of a worry. So if something bad happens to someone, join in, fuck them over. If someone gets filthy rich from stealing and doing all kinds of evil shit, well, they must have done something good in their past life, and you've got to congratulate that. You see how backward, upside down that is? Do you see the harm that can happen from that? I'd go with the invisible voice in your head, because at least you got a chance of him saying something good. With this shit, there's no good that can come from that. You know, invisible voice in my head could say, hand out flowers and shit. Still fucked up, but you know, way better. All right, so we can go to next. Buddhists. They're kind of like Hindus, really. Yeah, a lot of things in common. I'd spend hours going into that if I could, but Buddhists believe in nothing. They don't believe in nothing. Buddhism is actually the worship of death. All this meditation and shit it is emptying your mind, because it actually means death. Like this Zen, it means death, and they worship death. And they want to die. So their whole existence they spend in meditation, not to be intelligent and wise and figure stuff out, but to be in a state of death, to be absent of mind, instead of out doing shit and solving problems and shit, to sit on your ass, role-playing being dead. Really, that's what it is. It's not. There's no depth to it. That's what it is. It's anti-depth because it's death. Anti-depth death. Look it up. So Buddhism is the worship of death. Well, at least these ones are honest about it. I say a lot about that too, Buddhism. But so you got voice in my head. Oh look, my avatar's spazzing out. He can't fucking handle it. Voice in my head. Oh yeah, I was sort of say about Muslims. Muslims also, the perfect man and the perfect example they are to follow is to marry 6-year-old children, up to 4 at a time. And this perfect man and his perfect example raped and beheaded about 10 children every day, on top of whatever the hell else he did. That's the perfect example to follow in Islam. I forgot to say that. That's pretty important, eh? That's the perfect example to live by. So where we go next? We got oh, the rest is like a little when it comes to religions, at least. I'm not gonna go just religion, but tiny minority of 100,000 fucking gods and shit that no one's ever heard of. Basically involves mushroom kings and penis donkeys and shit. Whatever the fuck that is. Fuck, just give me Zeus. But anyway, they're pretty much like 0.01% of nothing. But then we got the rest. Because all these religions say that each other religion's wrong, and now they're trying to pretend to be peace against enemies that say that they're going to kill them, so a knife in the back in one hand and money in the other, whatever the fuck's going on there. But then we got the atheists. They're the ones who they're the enlightened ones, the ones that know what they're talking about, the sciences and the anti-fuckery. The agnostic atheists was pretty much, you know, if you're an atheist or you're a scientist, you have to be an agnostic atheist. It's all the same thing. It's actually a cult. They're the biggest cult of all. But these are the people behind communism. Anti-religious. You think those religions are bad? The anti-religious are even fucking worse. Communism has caused more death than every one of these religions that I just mentioned since the inception of communism. More than all of them combined. These people are anti-anything God, they're anti-morality, they're anti-truth. There is no truth, there is no right or wrong. There is only the state, the government, the 1984 dystopia. Agnostic atheism. Do you know, there's no such thing as an agnostic atheism. It's a paradox, it's a joke, it's a making fun of yourself. An atheist is either, someone who lacks a belief in God. It's not about just God. It means nothing can be known. So you got Gnostic and you got agnostic, which means Gnostic means there's an old Gnostic cult that's got it's for what the word Gnostic comes from. The Gnostics of the ancient past, but that's just the base for the word. But the term Gnostic today is like a logical and scientific term and shit like this. It's not the same as this cult. It's just derived from it. So what it means is knowing, to know, to be knowable. So someone who is a Gnostic in modern context of it is someone who believes that the truth can be known about something or anything or everything, whatever, that the truth is knowable. An agnostic is to say that the truth is not knowable. You can never know anything, right? If you can never know anything, that in itself is a claim of knowing. An atheist is a context of a God, a word that may or may not be personified, and it is so vague it could mean any of these definitions or anything more, to the point where it doesn't even have any meaning more. The very term atheist is relative to a specific thing that is unspecified. They're both fucking paradoxes. But an agnostic atheist is basically means is the truth about God cannot be known. Right? That, do you get it? The truth of God cannot be known. That is a statement of such said truth. This is the height of human intelligence. To take your own foot, do 360 degrees, and insert it into your own ass is the height of human intellect. I really don't know which one of these is to choose. You know, I started off with voice in my head, but I just keep going back to voice in my head. It's pretty fucked up, but they just keep getting worse. So these are all the options you got these days. You got Christianity, you got Islam, you got Hinduism, you got Buddhism, or you got atheism, and then there's these little tiny cults of weird shit that's even fucking worse. You don't even fucking want to know about that shit. Fuck. Like even Buddhists will kill those fuckers. You don't know what they fucking do. But these are all the options you pretty much got. The truth is, most people, while they call themselves they identify as one of these groups, very few of them will really back it up with action and really mean it. This is like a fallback thing. They don't know what to believe. Pretty much almost everyone doesn't know what to believe. But when times get tough, you got something to fall back on. When you lose hope, there's something that you fall back on this thing that you don't really believe, but you start trying to make yourself believe because it's the only thing that can give you hope. That's in most cases. Islam's a little bit different in that regard because it's coerced and forced, and you have to do everything you're fucking told. But generally, no one really believes any of this shit. None of these religions, not even atheism. The atheists just they make fun of these the voice in my head and all this kind of stupid shit, and rightfully so. It doesn't, and that doesn't even go with the very narrative of the Bible. It's just a bunch of drunks who've reinterpreted what someone else said, and they've misquoted them, but it goes against the Bible actually. But they all do the same thing anyway, all of them, including atheists. But atheists make fun of this stuff, but they're supposed to be the enlightened. We're out of the Dark Ages and Stone Ages, this stupid, fucked up belief shit. So we're the new kid in town, and we're the ones who know shit. Oh no, hang on, no, they don't know shit. They don't know shit. We're the ones who don't know shit because it means they don't know shit. But how do they say they don't know shit? That's a claim of knowing in itself. You see where this is fucking going? Fuck, I'm getting a headache. It's from the leprechaun that I ate. That's where that headache's from. It'll come out soon. So, fuck, where are we going here? So, let's go back to atheism. Science is kind of a strongly atheist thing. Well, actually, the fathers of science, the likes of Isaac Newton and Galilei, they both highly religious. And they both believed heavily in prophecies. Christian, mind you. In fact, it was Christianity that developed the sciences and shit. I won't tell you that. But when it comes to science, they all like to say atheism is labelled with science these days, but it actually came from Christianity. But nonetheless, science is like the trophy of. Okay, so you can prove. No, you can't quite 100% prove, but you can prove within reasonable doubt in percentages and probabilities, like 99.99999%. Even though the people who do the probabilities are 100% people. Well, hang on, are they as people 100% exist? Because if they don't exist, they're not too sure. Can I have your money? Can I have your wallet? Because if you don't exist, do I have human rights if I'm not sure I exist? I don't have human rights anyway, but if I'm not quite sure something exists, does it have human rights or something? Or what about leprechauns? Do leprechauns have human rights? Because there's a possibility somewhere between 0 and 99% they exist. And I might have just eaten one, but this just gets worse and worse, doesn't it? But with atheism, science says you can never know anything 100%. You can know it like 99.999. That's to the point where you can't fucking count anymore. And something that is that probable that it's ridiculous to even consider the possibility because it's so low. But you can always be wrong. But there are possibilities so low that they are beneath consideration. And quite frankly, all of these groups believe that. I kind of don't, but I agree with the general idea. Should never be closed off to the most ridiculous sounding possibility. But that doesn't mean you should really invest in it. You've got enough, you've got 100% of stuff that you have to invest with, and you invest it as a measure of your guessing of the estimated guessing of the probabilities. For example, if I want to win, I've got $100 and do I want to invest in leprechauns or do I want to buy some food for the week? There's a good chance that food is going to help me more than investing in searching for leprechauns. If I'm going to starve to death, I'm pretty sure food's a better go there. So you only got so much. Maybe you can invest, if you really want to find leprechauns, you can invest $1 out of that $100, but you're not going to put $99 into leprechauns and $1 into the food. You got to measure these things against each other. But never close any page unless absolutely necessary. And the absolutely necessary is what I talk about, where two cannot coexist, when you can't invest in both. But science says that the closest thing you can get to the truth and to prove something is to have a statistical impossibility. For example, it is a statistical impossibility that I jump up right now and I just keep fucking going and hit my head on the moon. Well, chances are I'm not gonna. If I jump up, it ain't gonna happen. But what if a meteor strike hit or some shit at the same time and launched me up in the air and I actually hit my head on the moon? Those things happen so rarely that it's beneath consideration. If shit like that's going to happen, I shouldn't worry about it because I'm fucked anyway. But, if I don't wear a helmet out every day because I might get hit in the head by a meteor. It might happen, but I've got to measure things, So a statistical impossibility is like, there's like a cutoff point where, look, it's not worth even considering under any circumstances. Well, I say there are even still circumstances to explore the lowest possibilities, and there's a lot of reasons why, but generally, yes, it's a general good idea. So the closest thing you get to the truth, and quite frankly, these other groups that I mentioned, the non-atheist groups, they kind of agree. So they're all they all claim Christian Science, Muslim Science, that they always fake. It's a pedestal that everyone wants to be on, all of them. But science isn't any of them really. And actually, the fathers of science were of the voice in the head people, Christians. Atheists don't like that. They don't know that generally, and they don't like it. So what are some examples of statistical impossibilities? Like I could shoot a gun in space and hit a bullseye a quadrillion galaxies away in a zillion years. Yeah, that's if I did that 100 times in a row, it's a statistical impossibility. So if I kept doing that over and over, then basically it's saying that that's not just a random chance. There's something fucking going on. It's a game of chance. You know, if you went to open the door and you get zapped by electricity, like when you grab the whole door handle, you think, fuck, what the fuck just happened? You might not do it again, because that's like a 1 in 1 chance there, like something fucking on the door. It's electrified or some shit. But if you're a fucking idiot, if you're any of these groups, pretty much if you belong to any group, because every group, religious, non-religious, religious, and theism are not the same thing. But, you know, I'm dealing with fucking monkeys who think that, I don't even know where to begin. But if I grab that door, I do it again. Because that's me again. How many times do I have to do it till I stop doing it? Until I decide I'm going to go another way. I go around the back way, and I'm going to look what the fuck's going on. It's like a dog. Dogs are smarter than fucking humans, and I'll show you. If you got a fucking mirror, a dog looks at the mirror. He's like, what the fuck is that? That the fuck is me? What is the first thing he does? He goes around the back of the fucking mirror. What the fuck's going on here? That's one of the smartest things you can fucking do. You go around the back. Although, rarely some dogs will just start barking at each other, barking at themselves. But humans look at the mirror and they just fucking stare at it. A dog figures that shit out straight away. Ridiculous, isn't it? But statistical impossibilities is as close as you can get to a proof. It's what every one of these groups wants to be able to get a statistical impossibility, but none of them really can. None of them. But it's like it's the number one trophy to say that to prove that I'm right. So you know, if you can get one or you can get more, as many as you can, statistical impossibilities to say I'm the group that's right because out of all these groups, and here's the proof, the statistical impossibility, the closest you can get to 100%. None of them have any of these statistical impossibilities to prove any of their beliefs, their for or against each other. So, for example, an atheist can't show any statistical impossibility that a personified God doesn't exist, and the other ones can't do the same for one existing. You don't know. You don't have such a statistical impossibility in any of those groups. Those statistical impossibilities do exist, but they're not in the hands of any of these groups for or against. So they can't prove each other wrong, and they can't prove themselves right to a reasonable degree, but they all blindly claim they are. Except for maybe a minority of hypothetical atheists, because atheists are two groups. Those who say there is no God, and then those who say, I just lack a belief in a God. But those hypothetical ones, I'm yet to actually meet one, because many of them claim it, those who are on the more intelligent side, who look around the back of the mirror, and they always quickly turn into the other type. Or they turn religious or some shit. Or worse. But none of them have these statistical impossibilities. Did you know that science is actually the profession of prophecy? Science is prophecy. They're all about prediction. Predicting with chance. If you can predict something and it happens, or with an X amount of chance, that's what it is. How do you have chance without something happening? You roll the dice. It's a chance. It's a prediction. It's a prophecy. We just call it by different names to make it anti-religious or non-religious, maybe even to dishonestly claim some kind of middle ground between the two. I believe in a middle ground. That's what I am. That's what I'm to do. But no one's actually doing that except for me. But you roll a dice. Let's just say a six face dice, 1 to 6, and this lands on 5. And you predict whatever number, and let's say it lands on your number. Okay. That's what science is. So if you're wrong, you just do it over and over and over, because maybe it'll be 99 out of 100, and I'll do 99 other times. The first one didn't work, but maybe the other 99 will. You roll the dice over and over, and see if what you're predicting is true or not. There's all kinds of ways to predict. You could maybe see something in your dreams. You might have a mathematical algorithm that you counted. I could give examples of that, but it's going to confuse people because they don't know that shit. But you could say that a voice in your head told you. You could say that an ancient book told you. But there's all kinds of ways. You could do a computer model or whatever the fuck. In all kinds of ways to do predictions and prophecies and shit. But none of these groups, any of them, have any respectable, reasonable degree of evidence according to science that they all agree to. They all agree that science is like the top level. That's the ultimate proof. But none of them can get any of it. None of them. They keep talking about it all and claiming it, but they can never show it. They can maybe confuse you by straw manning and misrepresenting statistics to make it look like something it's not. That's what they all do that, but they can't very quickly, easy to, if you got half a brain, you can see straight through it. It's only to fool the most stupid. So, I have statistical impossibilities. I have statistical impossibilities of statistical impossibilities. And, where do I begin? That I say the most outrageous sounding things. The most outrageous sounding things. I don't pretend otherwise. I know that it triggers people. I think anyone with half a brain realizes I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm not stupid, I'm not fucking crazy. I know what I'm fucking doing. And that's kind of what scares people these days. But there was once upon a time when I started going public about a lot of things that people knew. I knew there was something about Jeremy. He knows too much. He's got these skills at things. Where the fuck did he get them? And I'm too afraid to ask questions. And he always has an answer to this shit, and I look it up, and he's fucking right. Where does he get in this shit? The life he's supposed to be living doesn't match his knowledge and his abilities. There's something fucking going on here. Some people get paranoid and attack me or run away. Other people observe my disposition. They realise I mean well. Whatever I am, I seem to be the good guy, and I'm trustworthy, and they even appreciate that. But it is a bit scary. I can be a bit scary simply by the fact that I'm the devil I look like the devil wearing a crown and a cigar. I fucking hate cigarettes. But appearances can be deceiving and very entertaining too. But there's a reason why I do this. There's a reason why I do everything. I don't do things without a reason, and I know. And there's a lot of depth behind everything that I do. So was it statistical impossibilities? I got a lot of statistical impossibilities. Where the fuck was I? What the point I was talking about? Fuck, I forgot where I was up to. But I remember what I was going to say after that. Maybe this was what I was talking about. I got nausea. I'm fucking sick and dying and shit. So you have a nausea attack and your short-term memory goes ploop, like you drop the jugger balls. So I was going to do like science, statistical impossibilities. Some examples. All right, so I say that one of the things that butthurt people that pretty much universally accepted these days, I'm the founder of Anonymous. Well, don't say that. You'll piss off all the fucking hackers. Why you got to say fuck all the time? Why you got to say shit, asshole, fuck, blah, 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 blah? Well, actually, statistically, people say 0.7% of words are a swear word on average. That's just on average. That includes normal talk outside of something like this where I'm free to talk. I wouldn't talk like this at the shops. So that changes my percentages. But if you look at, count my words, how many swear words I say. It's not far off 0%, 0.7%. I would normally swear less than everyone else. But could talk about the topic of swearing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a good thing. So was it statistical impossibilities, and was it see, I'm looking to my left. It means I'm telling the truth. I can't look to my right, not properly, because of the position I've got everything right now. But I think my cigar will fall off. Statistical impossibilities. I've got a ton of statistical impossibilities that I fulfill in all of these groups, scientifically, atheistically, religiously. In fact, what if I was to fulfill prophecies from Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism? It's take all day to try to go through all the little religions, like even the ancient, the famous ancient ruined civilizations and stuff. They got shit too. That fulfills all the things that I say, things that are very controversial, like extraterrestrial stuff. And then atheists. The ultimate atheist prophecies as well. What if, they're supposed to go all against each other, what if there was this little trick, big secret, the ultimate plan that the one they're all waiting for was to fulfill all of their prophecies in their entirety, and to show who's boss and that it really is the truth. There are all these ideologies, their prophecies are supposedly against each other. It happens in such a way that every one of their prophecies happens simultaneously without contradicting each other in any way. They thought they did contradict each other. No. They read it again. I've got tons of videos to show this. I've got all the proof in the world. Tons of shit. If I was just a crazy nobody with no criminal record, no income, no friends, no nothing, why is the government so shitting themselves over me? Why are they so desperate to get me? Why they keep vandalizing my shit and trying to raid me and panicking and laughing about it and going crazy? And all these, and me saying I'm the founder of Anonymous, where are all these hackers? Well, I did the battles, but I destroyed them all. I go in the room and they just scatter like cockroaches these days. Why? I'm not a hacker. I've never claimed to be a hacker. I don't go around hacking computers. I've got a lot of skills with computers, but I don't hack things. So what have they got to be scared, be afraid of? Oh, a lot of shit has happened. I've documented. If you're watching this, you probably already know. At least a good sizable part of it. So much more that you haven't seen, but get the gist of it. So what if I was to fulfill all of the prophecies of all these contradicting groups? And what if I was to say that, hey, look, your very prophecies say that someone will actually do that, and you overlooked all this shit right in fucking front of your face all this time, and you overlooked it, and your own prophecies say that you'll overlook it. Imagine if you're like an expert in it, like this book, and you thought you know it inside out. It's your whole profession. You can read it. You can read it backwards, forwards, inside out. And then someone comes along and says, hey, I'm the man in that book. And say, no, you can't be because blah, 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 blah. And it says, no, the book's going to say this dude like Thomas fuckery, whatever, is gonna say this, and here's the proof in this book. Jeremy's going to talk to him and refer him to this part of the book, and it's this saying it in the book right now. That's pretty ridiculous. Like this guy who'd know it inside out, and then he goes, read this verse, and he's like, okay, I know this verse. What the fuck? What did I never know? I know this book inside out. How did I look past that? That's as ridiculous and obvious as all the fulfillment of prophecy and scientific predictions and stuff here. I've got tons of videos that I could show, hundreds, thousands of hours of shit that I've compiled. Yeah, people go around making claims, and I'm dealing with people who believe in voice in my head, split the moon in two. You can never know nothing except for claiming to know nothing incoherently, and elephants and six-armed Gilgameshes and mushroom people. This is what you all so supposedly believe. These are all the options that you have that are there. And people would say that because I contradict their little tiny box of fuckery, that somehow I'm the one wrong. Well, we'll get to that if I can, if my body will hold out. So I say a lot of things. I don't just say really vague things that are disprovable. This is a trick that people play. Is that they make claims that you can't prove true or false, and they say that if you can't prove it false, then therefore it's true. Like a toddler level little bullshit. But they all do it. All these groups. Atheists like to pretend that they don't, and that all the others do, but they all do it. They all do it. I can show you I prove this shit. I do debate debate expert atheists all the time, and then they lose their shit the most, man. They're the most religious of all. They may not be theists, but they're the most religious of all. So how are we going to know if any of these are right? Any of these groups are right, and if I'm right, because they all say that I'm the one that's wrong. The only thing they'll agree on is that I'm wrong, even though I have the very evidence on the rules according to the rules they all follow. But how do you know which one's right? Do you debate? Do they debate this shit? Do they go through the evidence or no? They insist I'm the one with the badge or the label, the name tag, and therefore look, I'm the authority, and you just do what I tell you. That's pretty much what they all do. You just go with what you're told. No, they won't. They go in there in corners. They generally won't confront each other, except to do a little publicity stunt for self-gain, and they'll do like a fake weak debate. They won't really get into anything serious or meaningful. They don't want to contradict each other. They make an agreement beforehand that we won't touch this, we won't touch that. We'll just go on some little minor things, and so we can get some Facebook likes and YouTube clicks and ad revenue and some popularity, and so I can get people to go to my church. You can get people to go to your little church, whatever you want to, Church of Science, not Scientology, but science is all easy. The other Scientology, psychiatry. Scientology's enemy against psychiatry. Psychiatry is just another Scientology. It's all fake science. It's worth Scientology's criticisms of psychiatry are in fact true. All these groups, not everything they say is false. Not everything. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. The smallest groups tend to be the outside the main ones are probably more reliable, but more dangerous. But nausea again. I forgot what I'm fucking doing. I was going to say possibility. So what if so with all the outrageous claims I have, was to fulfill everything, and I've already proved it. These people lose their shit because I pack up my words and it's all fucking true. Like I'm word for fucking word. They can't get much clearer than that. Unless you want to say my fucking name, Jeremy Martin or Taryn or whatever. We can go there because that's in this shit too. It's crop circles with my fucking name on it, dudes. Yes, there's fucking the most famous crop circles have my fucking name in it. I've got the videos to show it. Like I can't sit here and show you fucking like I say things. You say, oh, it's certainly not true. I've done the fucking video. I can't put the look. What am I going to do? This video is going to last for like 2,000 hours, so I can show you all this shit. I put this shit up all the time. It's all true. So look, I say all kinds of things. Like let's go some topics. Multiple universes. So much I can fucking say. Multiple universes. I say that I came from an alternate universe. I'm not the only one who said this kind of thing, but typically people who say that kind of thing are, oh, get away from that, unless you're like, you're drinking a lot of beer and you want entertainment for the night. That's about it. But yeah, if you really stick to saying a claim like that, get away from that. Everyone's away, and that's like the government in UFOs. Get away from that. But I've been saying very intricately detailed stuff about alternate universes, as in to the point where actually explaining the weaving web of universes and the whole mechanism of how they work. Not just coming from an alternate universe, but a multiverse and how it all connects and how they interact, the universes interact and shit. And how I came from an alternate universe. Where do you think I get all the knowledge that I have? I almost failed high school. Generally kept to myself in those years. Very quiet. Didn't talk about things. To survive. And I never went to university. I have no degrees. I have no doctorate or whatever fucking call it. I have access to the internet, but it's only a small amount of the stuff that I say could be attributed to the internet, because there's things that I say that you can't get off the internet, like prophetic things and all kinds of stuff. Where do I get this stuff from? This is what scared a lot of people before I went public about a lot of things, because I knew things that I shouldn't, and I had skills that I should not have. And when the closer you look, the more you see. My abilities seem a bit like unhuman on some kind of other level. And it scares people. I understand that. I don't blame you for being scared of that. What the fuck am I? But where do you think I get this from? Alternate. I don't like to say parallel. I like to say alternate. But kind of. No two universes are identical, but kind of like a game save system. You save your game, you go to another one, you go to save that. You want to know where the left path goes or right path goes. Not every path is walked, but every possibility attempts to play itself out, but none of them even get to the. Very few of them get to the point of actually forming into a universe. Different. Some possibilities play out, most of them don't. But some of the biggest possibilities do, and they can interact and interfere. Not interfere. I mean, influence each other. I've gone into intricate detail of this stuff, right? And obviously, got attacked and called every name under the sun because of it. But as it turns out, all the sciencey people who were like, there's only one universe. It's just all, it's all silly fantasy crap. We're scientists here. We're doctors. We're scientists. We're experts. We're logical. We deal with evidence. And change of plans. The evidence shows all these mathematics that they say they have, that they're trying to work out how the universe works. They can predict all these predictions, scientific predictions instead of scientific prophecies, which is called a different name, pretend to get away from the voice in the head people. There's big giant holes in it. It all works, but there's something fucking wrong with it, right? As it turns out, they found out what was wrong with it. The remainder of the equation involves other universes, and whoop-de-doo, skip a little bit ahead in time. Everything I said is now mainstream science. All this multiple universe shit, all mainstream science. big thing these days. It's like the biggest, one of the biggest, if not the biggest topics about when it comes to all these spacey sciences and stuff. They all say this these days. There's a big giant consensus over it. Not everyone goes along with it because some people just like to be different. But that's an overwhelming popularity of everything that I said, to the point where the I can't remember what his name is. There's people who have explored where this goes and come to there's getting some increasing details of what their calculations and their predictions are working to predict. You know, what do you think they're making the Hadron Collider and all this kind of shit? Why do you think they're doing all this stuff for? Just for curiosity? Do you think they just to answer some weird question they would invest so much in? No, there's a reason why. They're trying to they're clinging to they cling to old ideologies, religious ideologies, religious atheist ideologies. Yes, there's a such thing as a Christian atheist. It's not contradicting. And atheists are religious. Sounds contradicting, but it's not. But there's a reason why, because they invest all this money to try and desperately prove their old broken theories, because they're being proven wrong and they're losing popularity, and there's people throwing money at trying to keep it their cult alive. And obviously it's failed. But and you just use the tools to try and find other shit as well. There's a giant chamber that cost them like billions and billions of dollars that are complete waste of time. It basically proved themselves wrong. I'm not talking about the giant international circle thing. You know what I'm talking about? Where you throw a ball and another ball. Where two testicles collide. You make a black hole and shit. Let's call it the giant ball clacker. Damn, why does no one call that the giant ball clacker? Because that's what it is. But anyway, on another topic. Back to what I was saying. Statistical possibilities with the sciences. Fucking nausea. I forgot what I was thinking over here. So these old theories have been proven wrong, and all everything I said about multiple universes, all the leading experts, supposed experts, the leading monkeys they've backed up everything that I've said all along. And the more they go, the more intricate details. They're saying word for word everything I said. I don't know fuck all about their mathematics. I come from mathematics from a completely different angle. I'm quite well versed in mathematics, but I don't do a completely different realm of what they do. I don't know fuck all about their equations and shit. It's all gibberish. I don't use fucking symbols, abbreviation symbols. That's all bullshit. When you expand it out and you say it for what it fucking is. You don't overuse abbreviations. So you put this equation with the gibberish on it. Each letter means something that only a couple of people understand, know what that means. And unless you use that letter every day, people look at it and know what the fuck it is. You know what? It's on purpose to say it's because if you know what those things mean, and you read it and you're able to read it for what it is, it's bullshit. It's schoolyard bullshit. But you try it. Just use a bunch of symbols, right? And just take a bunch of random factors in the equation and just put them together in it's a coherent mass, and tell them that it's like the solution to some fucking puzzle. Give me the money, and people just do it because they don't know what it fucking means. So just trust you. You just put on a white coat or some shit because people are stupid. But and the people needlessly complicate things that need not be. Don't know how to fucking do it wrong. If it's complicated and the layman can't understand it, you're doing something wrong. But their junky equations supposedly now back up what I said about multiple universes. I'm not someone who says things after the fact and say, "Oh, I said this all along." No, I've got a documented record, intricate details. You'll be aware all these other people who say, "Oh, I said all along." No, you didn't. You're fucking bullshitting. I said so all along. even before I went full public in 2013, I would, people would know you start talking about a certain topic, invite me to feedback. I'll say a lot of things, so people know that I'm a Pandora. Always knew that I was a Pandora's box. I wouldn't talk about things unless asked, but I was asked sometimes, and I would talk, usually in private, in intricate detail, as much as you're willing to go. That's one of the things that scare people, because I'm like a genie. You ask a question, I got an answer. You keep asking questions, I keep giving you answers. So the old multiple universe idea, it's mainstream science these days. It's almost universally accepted in every corner. So if there are multiple universes and they are interacting with each other, is it such a big deal to say that one can go from one universe to another? That a person can travel? If something can travel, some kind of information can travel, what kind of person? I'm not saying my body came from another universe. It didn't. I was grafted into this body. How? There's all kinds of ways it can happen. How? If any information can be transferred from one universe to the other, and all the mainstream science says it happens, it's how the universe works. Universes interact with each other. Information is transferred in some way. They don't fully understand it yet, but but they're confident it's happening. It's all mainstream belief. So if that's happening, what kind of information could you transfer on purpose? Like a person? Everything's code, including you. You're a computer with programs and shit. I can give you an optical illusion and prove it. Probably give you a bit of a seizure, but the fact that you can you look at any optical illusion, what it does to your brain. That's a computer doing that shit. You don't know what you are, and the parts of you don't know the extent of what you are. The parts of you not unconscious. Most of what you are is unconscious. Only a little bit's actually conscious. You're not aware of. Like are you aware of your heartbeat right now, for example? But with your mental processes, there's the large amount of you're not even aware of it, and you have tools that are operating that you can actually consciously access and use, but you don't know you're not used to using it. I teach people these things. I can turn a dumbass into a genius. Pretty easy. Just show them what's in their toolbox, things that they never use. Something will be 100 times easier. It's nothing special about it. It's just you're stupid. You've been artificially made to be that way. Like a dog, like a tame dog, he doesn't know what he can do. He knows he's got teeth, but he starts figuring out, what are these teeth for? They look pretty nasty. I could do something with these. And, they start asking themselves questions. And some dogs get a bit too close to the truth. And you can't unlearn what you learned. The dog becomes a wolf again. But, so the idea of what I say about multiple universes, people are still, even like people, civilian level people, will, some people will be like all in new agey, like, oh yeah, there's all these universes. I'm from reality. I'm a dragon Super Saiyan thing from some fantasy land, and yeah, dude, you've been on too much fucking meth. Unfortunately, when you talk about multiple universes, you tend to run into a bunch of new age nutters, but who aren't, But outside of that, a lot of on the civilian level, people will, especially in the government level, they don't like this shit. There's a reason why. There's more than one reason why. But they think you get labelled crazy. You talk about multiple universes, and saying that you're from a multiple universe, you don't understand the full context of what I mean when I say that. But to say that, people are like, oh, you're fucking crazy. It's almost like saying you got microchips in your head. On that note, give me a moment. I'll do this right now. I said I had microchips in my head. It's like the most craziest thing. It's like, that's worse than tinfoil hat. Oh, did you know that tinfoil hats are actually real? They do what they say they do. And electromagnetic radiation used as a weapon does happen, not as much as people think, but and this 5G stuff's all complete bullshit, but you can use as a weapon and a defense. But what I was looking for? There we go. So, oh, there we go. That's my head. That's just some of the shit that's in my head. I got all kinds of shit. I got more upgrades than Neo. But I got all kinds of otherworldly shit inside me. The government knows that, and I've got a long history regarding this. There are a lot of people that want to chop me up into pieces and cut things out of me to study them for a long, long time. I've been experimented on as a guinea pig, all kinds of shit. A lot I could say on that, a lot I've covered elsewhere on this. So if I say I got microchips in my head, that's instant dismissal. You're crazy. Go put a fucking tinfoil hat on. All right, you want to see the photos? Just showed you one. I've got a lot more where that came from, but that's the one I got keep with me. But on my local drive. But yeah, pause the video, have a look at that yourself. I've got a lot more where that came from. Oh, actually, Elon Musk is now admitting that they've been putting microchips in people's heads and experimenting on some really artificially buff claims of what they've done experiments and find out this shit kind of works really easier than they thought, and that they've been doing it. No information beyond that, and no, these microchips do not come from anyone around here that I got. No. But this shit is actually going on today. Not to the same level of the shit that I got. They got a long way before they get my upgrades going. But putting microchips in people's heads is already going on. Sure, it's illegal, but no one's forcing the law anyway. So microchips in the head's real? I got photos to show my otherworldly microchips. They're fucking real. Multiple universes is real. It's mainstream science. Have we entered or exited the Twilight Zone? What the fuck? Fuck, I've been going for an hour. Might have to compress this video to fit it. We'll see. I could talk all day. So model universes, microchips in people's heads. Turns out that shit's true. Although most people who say this stuff are full of shit. But if someone said falling brick or cry wolf, if everyone did it and it wasn't true, it doesn't mean there aren't wolves, and it doesn't mean that every now and then you'll get someone who's actually telling the truth, who cries wolf, and there is a fucking wolf. Do I have a history of crying wolf and being false? I have a perfect record of being right about everything. The world's best expert that you put on TV and shit has like a 99% record of being wrong, the most appalling you can fucking think of. That's the best they got. I'm at 100%, flawless. So here we go. So if I know all this shit and I'm always right, and I say the most outrageous claims, then maybe that's true. Statistical impossibility, son. So how do I know all this stuff? Well, I say I'm the founder of Anonymous. If it turns out I am, everyone knows that now. Everyone accepts that. What does that make me? Does that not make me little old Jeremy, who used to be so quiet? But there was a big mystery about him, but he was always so quiet and he always knew so much. He was up to something. Well, now you know what I was up to. I was the founder of Anonymous. I'm the guy behind the biggest global movement in the world. I'm the guy that every security experts in the world is scared of. Every government shaking in their boots, as they say. I'm I'm the one single-handedly behind all that shit. And all these armies of hackers who worship my shadow and spit in my face, wage war against me, all by myself. All the world's elite hackers. Who's still standing? Here I am. Where are they? You want to deny my claim? You want to prove me wrong? I'm the only one who puts debate money up. $1,000 I've been having up for ages. Never lose a debate. Always right. Might be scary to hear that I'm that guy. That this was all the work of one guy. And I'm him. And if you knew me, even more scarier, ignore the fact that I look like the devil right now, but to find out that I really was. Turns out I'm not crazy, and the stuff I was saying was true, about Anonymous at least. That can be very scary, I understand. What the fuck has Jeremy been up to? And then you find he's saying he's a messiah and shit. Oh, okay, he must have gone crazy, but this other stuff's true. What the fuck? Is he fucking crazy, true and dangerous, and bit of all things? Who knows? Scary, isn't it? What the fuck am I? Who knows? Am I the devil? Well, actually, if you look at the descriptions of any devils and evil, the mastermind of evils, depending on different names and different descriptions, always comes as a friend with false gifts and broken promises. He doesn't come looking like this. The Messiah comes looking like this. Fucking look it up. Rejected by mankind. Disgusting appearance. Scarcely recognizable as a human. The devil comes in a suit with hair covered in gel. Thank you, Jesus. Comes as your friend in the name of peace. This is what evil does. Evil deceives and lies. I don't lie and deceive. I'm not claiming to be the devil. Just because I look like him right now doesn't mean I am. I'm using this appearance for a reason. I'm not trying to claim to be the devil. I'm not doing it to scare you either. I do it in a baby voice and I do karaoke in it. It's fucking awesome. But the devil hides behind a fake personality and puts on a big act and pretends to be a friend and stuff. I'm not even saying, I don't say that there is a devil. I say that the equivalent of what you might call a devil is actually now dead. Kind of. It's a bit complicated. I'm trying to do the I've already done stuff on that, but I'm trying to put it into the first person game interaction thing to incorporate it into a more detailed explanation of all that. But basically, you could say technically there's no devil. And the evil, really, in mankind, if you actually read any stories, is the evil one is not responsible for any of the evil on this world. Maybe evil, but he's not he didn't cause any of this. You did. He's just revealed the evil in you. He just brought it to the surface. This is all you're doing. The evil. And who's your creator? If there is a God, that God is not your creator. Your ancestors are creator. You're given free will to choose your path. This is a path that your ancestors chose. You evolved into what you are because of choices your ancestors made. There's no God that made it. If there was a God that made those choices, you're just a mindless puppet. Your life has no value. You're just a lifeless puppet to someone else. That's not life. To be alive, you need free will and to make choices on your own to be your own creator. You didn't create these circumstances that started this thing, but you're put here to choose your own path. Therefore, you are your own creator. Obviously, it doesn't make you a god, and it doesn't mean that there isn't a God either. That started all this, but that God is not your creator. Nor is any devil or whatever you want to call things. Your ancestors are your creator, and you are your creator, and you're not created yet. You're still being built. You're going through the evolutionary process still. you're in a bit of a choke point struggle here that you may or may not survive. But you're like in an egg in a womb. You haven't been born yet. You're living in a dream world. Zero. You really are living in a dream world. You're living in a dream of what you're becoming. You're still in a womb, dreaming of what you're going to become. You got a long way to go till you're born, but this is a big timeline, and this time decides whether you make it or not any further. There are different points where this happens, but this is the big one of all time. It decides whether you're going to make it or not. There'll be other times where you'll be tested. You might not make it, or not. You might make it, but this is a big one. That's why I'm here. But so if I'm the founder of Anonymous, and I really am behind all this stuff. If every government in the world shaking their boots over me, you see what the Australian government, how they're like, I'm not making this up. They're panicking and shitting themselves and trying desperately to make me disappear. Because what I say is true. If I was just some random idiot just talking shit, would the government be doing this? Every time I walk in the room, would all these elite world's top computer hackers, why would they scatter like cockroaches in my presence? I'm not even a fucking hacker. Why would people react this way if I was just some random dude talking shit? So if I'm the founder of Anonymous, and I say I come from another universe, and I say more than that, I don't even come from that universe. I've been around. It's a long story, and so long that I could spend the rest of this life here trying to tell it all. But I can try and tell it from a range of. I can sufficiently give you the gist. It's a very big, long story. But I say a lot of bizarre things, and I know that they sound bizarre, but they are all true. And the problem isn't in whether I am crazy or true, or the founder of Anonymous, or the Messiah, or the devil, or whatever you want to say that I am. This world is full of people who believe in the voice in their head, or marrying 6-year-olds, or karma, where it's good to rape people because it's their karma, and it's good to worship thieves because it means that they've done something good in their past life, or the Buddhists who worship death, or the atheists who kick their own ass. This is the best you got, and you're calling me crazy? You want to do a competition with me? No one will do a competition with. No one will debate me anymore because they know I'm right, and I put up the money, I reward them, and they're too scared. After what happens to people, and those who criticize, what happens? You know, if I'm not who I am, I'm not saying that I have any superpowers. The only power I claim to have is that I'm incorruptible. That's it. Not saying I didn't once upon a time have other powers. I've lost a lot of powers, and even in this life, I've lost a lot of powers. I've got fucking brain damage and the shit that's been done to me. The government torture and mutilated me and shit. But I'm not what I once was, and the only superpower I have left right now is that I'm incorruptible, which is the only superpower that really counts here. But all the people who did a lot of bad things to me, lied about me, conspired against me, did some really fucked up shit. What has happened? I'm not doing this. Someone else is doing this. Someone else has my back and is really pissed off at those who fucked with me. So much that those who fuck with me they scatter these days after seeing this shit. How many people? And I'm saying it's not my doing, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but someone's got my back and is really fucking pissed off. People falling off buildings, getting struck by lightning, spontaneous heart attacks, all on pinpoint timing. All this shit over and over and over. Earthquakes. Everything. Every step of the way. Over and over again. The people that I want killed are the ones that are being kept alive for the punishment. And I understand why. The ones that end up dying, I'd rather, in most cases, I'd rather have not died, but they fuck with me and someone's fucking struck them with lightning and shit over and over. It's not my will that's doing this. Someone else is fucking pissed off. If someone else has my back like that, then what the fuck am I? It's not me doing it. So what am I endorsed by? What am I endorsed by that I can also summon such powers I have done that I don't have myself, that I can command them? And I'll show the videos of me doing it. Commanding lightning strikes and all this kind of shit. I can glitch the fucking laws of physics here on command. I've got videos of me doing it. Chances are you've probably seen them. Just go, I can't sit here and show you thousands of hours in this. I've already gone over an hour here. All the shit's there. What the fuck's going on? What am I? Am I telling the truth or am I fucking crazy? Am I evil? Am I good? Am I crazy? Am I a liar? That's not the issue here. That's not the problem. The problem is, people say things. You don't know if they're true or false. You don't know the situation. The problem is, when you judge and make conclusions too early with not enough information or based on your own personal biases and insecurities and inadequacies, and your judgment's all fucked up. You don't deal with situations right. It's one of the reasons why I deliberately, in people's face and direct, and I push people for a good reason. I'm poking you in the forehead to get you to think. Snap out of the fucking psychological spell you're under of stupor. Start using what's left of your noggin. It's being deliberately taken away from you, but you got some of it left. Don't lose what you got left. I could say the most ridiculous things. What is the appropriate way to deal with that? If someone is crazy, okay. What is crazy even relevant? What is crazy? If someone's just doesn't put that aside. It's what someone says. It's true or false. Okay. Someone says something. It's either true or false. Just find out whether it's true or false, right? If it's true, okay. I learned something. See what I can do with that. If it's false, okay. Do you lose your shit? I could say that I'm a fucking chicken sandwich. I'll put up $1,000, bet and wager that I'm a chicken sandwich. I am a chicken sandwich. Anyone want to wager me $1,000? Obviously, I know what I'm doing, and I've got a trick up my sleeve. But I really mean that. I'm a chicken sandwich. And I really mean that I'll win the debate. And people see when I do it, and they laugh their asses off, because then they realise what I'm capable of. But for somebody to hear me say that I'm a chicken sandwich and be very serious about it, you might think it's funny. That's okay. But do you do it in a narcissistic, mocking kind of way? Do you say that person's insane? Ha ha ha! I'm better than you. And just put them down? Is it right to put down crazy people? Do you see a retard in the street and make fun of him? And somehow that's a good thing? So why would you gaslight people? Make fun of them for being confused in their thoughts. I'm obviously not confused in my thoughts, but for people who are labelled crazy, you would label them crazy and think that they're confused in their thoughts. Why would you label someone crazy who's confused and scared and thinks shadow people are out to get them and stuff like that, as a lot of people are? Why would you make fun of someone who's suffering and struggling like that? That's fucking pathetic. How does that make you the bigger guy? So something's either true or false. if it's false, then go approach a person and say, look, I think that's false. This is why I think it's false. And if you have other reasons why you think this is true, let me hear them. I want to see, because maybe there's something I'm not seeing. Maybe you are right, but I'm pretty confident that it's false. So look, here's my cards. Let me see your cards. You debate. It's like everything is a debate. If it's not, it's a disease. It's a debate or it's a disease. Why do people have to lose their shit over people saying something that they don't believe? It's true or it's false. Why they say it is what matters. It's not what, someone can say, I'm a telegraph pole. Okay. I'm not going to scream at you. I'm not going to wage war at you. My head's not going to explode. It's pretty bit weird, but either you maybe if you think you're a telegraph pole, there's a chance that you might be so disconnected from reality that you might be a threat to everyone. You might think that I'm a pair of scissors or something. That's legitimate concern. But when people just say things and you don't have the evidence to justify such a judgment, to judge someone to be a threat, or let's put aside the put down shit, because that's never justified. You don't make fun of people who are retarded, or people. You don't make fun of people for being vulnerable, weak and vulnerable. You make fun of people for being intentionally, like, stupid by their own immorality, but stupidity that comes from immorality, basically. You make fun of people for being immoral and deserving of making fun of. But you don't make fun of people for being lost and confused and vulnerable and stuff like that. It's like kicking a dog because he's not a human and he's not as big as you, and you think it's funny to kick the dog. That's just fucking pathetic. So the problem here is how you deal with things that are outside your box. If you're always right about everything and the only acceptable things are that which inside your box, then what you're really doing is you're claiming to be God, center of the universe. You're God, and everything outside of you and everything you believe and demand is all right, and everything else just needs to burn. That makes you the danger and the threat to everyone around you. The only real concern here when people say things that you disagree with is this person psychologically disconnected from reality? Are they being logical, or are they saying something that sounds really freaking bizarre? Are they a threat of harm or not? Sadly, most of you don't have the capability to determine that, because you're fucking crazy and you're a threat to everyone else. So if someone says something you don't believe, approach them, debate them, see, and if they say something that sounds like they might be really confused into the point where, like, they're going to stab you, thinking that because they're like stuck in a drug psychosis kind of thing. They're because see, a lot of people are like that. They're completely batshit crazy, and you can tell that they're about to be violent. That's a good thing. You just get away from them, yes, but be sure that you're right. Like, use your noggin. Don't be like a fucking feminist and say, look, there's a man over there. He's going to kill me because he's a man. That feminist is the one who's dangerous, not the man. Use your fucking noggin. I deliberately say outrageous things to push people into thinking like that. I don't need your support. I don't need you to tell me I'm a good person and shit. I validate myself by my actions, not by people's approval. I don't need no one's approval. I appreciate people testing me because it can help ensure that I'm right. So, like, I appreciate being burned in a fire, in the fire of debate. Throw fire at me. I appreciate that. That may sound fucked up, but, you know, if you use your noggin, you understand what I'm saying. I'm right. Fire purifies. Fire of debate purifies your beliefs and your ideas and your thinking. There may be something you fucked up and you got it wrong. And if it isn't sorted out, it's just going to rot and it's going to get worse. If you debate someone over it, and they might be able to show you where you've gone wrong, and your false beliefs get burned away, and your bad ideas and your bad habits get burned away, and you're purified. Fire is a good thing in the right context. If I'm the founder of Anonymous and I'm the messiah in this shit, people are losing their shit over who I am, and it turns out it's all true. I mean, what have I been up to? All this science stuff with statistical impossibilities, and I fulfill them all? I've got all the evidence, and I am who I am. I am who I say I am. Shouldn't you be doing something? Think about it. You know, I was looking at the main show. I'll give you an example. I've got evidence everywhere. Like, I just to give you like a reference to an example. So, because I can't give you thousands of direct evidence on this video. I've got too much evidence. I'm going to fucking show you. But the idea of like, you might know of RK selection theory. I've been involved in that. I was central to that. Well, I'm not a microbiologist and shit like that. I'm not an evolutionary biologist and stuff. I've got no fucking degree. Well, surely Jeremy's just talking shit, or he's just fucking crazy. All right. Just use this as an example. I can give you examples all day. I thought this one before. I was going to use this as an example. RK selection theory it's been around for a while, but it wasn't really taken whole popular, and it didn't become a big thing like it did in the last few years. There's a reason why it became a big thing. So there were some big flaws in it, and it's based on the idea. The foundational idea is not that complicated. Is you got R and K basically. They're badly written and everything, but there's the idea that there's two different directions. There's patterns in evolution that happen regardless of species, and there's two different directions and attitudes to life. One is to go the direction of quality, which means you're investing more in your children, and therefore you're having less children, and they live longer. And the other direction is to mass multiply like crazy, and have lower quality, multiple quantity, with a lot of them don't make it. And that's true. But there's more to the RK selection theory, and this is a big thing when it comes to. You look this up, you'll see why it's a big thing. The guy who's credited with the fame of this. Look this up. Anonymous conservative. You know my who I am, what I do, my position on different things, and the name Anonymous Conservative is pretty fucking clear. I knew the guy. He was in Australia. He's a microbiologist in Australia. I used to debate the guy. I taught him a lot of shit. We had some disagreements. We debated a lot. He was of the position that the natural disposition of inherited behavior is unchangeable. It's completely unchangeable. You can't change it at all. It's just set in stone. And I was of the position that it is changeable, and we're both in agreement that of the nature nurture fuckers, that just the cultists who like to. This is just basically foundation of communism and shit like this. The idea that the human is a blank slate and you can pretty much program it to be whatever the fuck you want it to be, which is that's just psychopathic fantasy. It's not like that at all. About 80% of what you are, your behavior, your disposition and stuff, is inherited, on average. The other 20% accounts for the random factor in evolution, and how evolution works with the random factor, and as well as the the factor of influence of your experiences and your indoctrination and whatever, right? Just like the 80-20. I'm behind the 80-20 thing. There was no 80-20. A lot of hard work to do that, but a big part of that involved me was related to stuff that went on inside and outside my debates with that microbiologist, anonymous conservative. I'm behind all this stuff. So you got talk about like the main force behind like evolutionary biology and all these scientific anthropology fields, and it turns out I'm behind this shit, and I really am. So the 80-20 rule, when it comes to this, is that came from me back in like 15 years ago, with all those debates and shit. Happens maybe a little bit more, about 15 years or so ago, maybe a bit more. I'm behind all that. Yeah, I talk about this kind of stuff with evolution and life and space. I know all this stuff for a reason. Obviously, I didn't get it from around here. I got it from somewhere else. I've obviously been around somewhere. But yes, I'm behind. Look this stuff up. What I'm saying. So for me to say about with the world problems here, about what the inherent side of things with when I talk about evolution and life and dispositions and all this kind of stuff, I know what the fuck I'm talking about because I'm fucking behind all this stuff. It's been proven. Give you another example. I've put this up before. You should find the video of it. I said about space, about the dimensions of things in space and the location, the things that you haven't seen. I've said all these things, and they've found later. Just to give you an example, the one I've put up a lot is the nearby large spiral galaxy Andromeda. They used to say it was massive. 50 years of universal scientific consensus, all their best tools of the world's best astronomers and astrophysicists, or whatever fuckery you want to call it, all these different professions and astrotheoretical, just fancy long names, and their funny mathematics. They said that they were convinced, all universal agreement, that Andromeda was massive and they were going toward it. They were going to collide. And yes, that part's true. In a long time, they're going to collide. They're heading toward each other. They all eventually become one. But it's in my story. It's interaction, long-term interaction. It takes a very long time between the two. But they say all along that Andromeda is massive. And Milky Way is going to get gobbled up by this massive galaxy, right? And I'm like, no, you got it the wrong way around. I've seen this shit. I've been on an extraterrestrial fortress in space. No, I'm not insane. And this is what I saw. This is what they told me. This is what they showed me. And this is what I did and experienced. I referred to an extraterrestrial map that I saw. Couple of them, and I've done 3D recreations of it. In fact, I'll do a better one in Unreal Engine. I'll do a really good map of that. Gotta make sure to do that. That'd be fucking awesome. But I've done a crude 3D one in I think it was Google SketchUp. But I've done 3D maps of things that I saw and everything. And as when it comes to there's things in space that all kinds of things I said that they've discovered since that goes against the whole narratives. But this example. I said, look, the Milky Way. I've seen them side by side on this map. I've seen different maps. I've seen the 3D map. It's a bit hard to tell which one's bigger, but one of the things that I saw was them side by side when I was talking with them about this. And the Milky Way was bigger than Andromeda, and I didn't get like exact percentage. I just saw I'm just going by eye. Is Andromeda looked to be about 2/3 of the size of the Milky Way. And this is tied to the long-term communication that happened with them. And they were arguing that one of the reasons why they wanted to break contact was, and they were being dishonest because it's the stuff that happened, long story, but they were intimidated by the size of our galaxy. And it wasn't just that. It was that we had a lot more life in our galaxy than they did, and also that they were a lot bigger. And they didn't want our influence on them to disrupt what they had politically going which was actually very unstable, and they were lying about it, saying it was. There were actually three factions, and they were pretty much all hell broken loose between the three factions. But the main faction that was barely holding control of a dominance was basically they were intimidated because of our size and also that we had a lot more life. Well, that's been confirmed too. They've new discoveries have shown about with star formations and radiation and stuff like that. They've determined by our understanding now of how star systems form and life and stuff, Andromeda should be have a lot less life than the Milky Way because of what we know about stars and stuff, and backs up what I said. But the size, 50 years of science and astronomy, like all these scientific tools, right, proven them right. They've got to be right, right? And here's me saying, nah, it's the other way around. It's about Andromeda's about 2/3 the size of the Milky Way, and I'm not stupid. I know that their scientific instruments say this. I own a deep space telescope, the largest commercially available of its time. I know what I'm fucking talking about. I know what their instruments say. And I'm saying, look, I've seen this shit with my own eyes. I don't know your instruments. I don't use your instruments. But something's wrong because I've seen this shit. It's about 2/3 the size. And lo and behold, 2 years some of the original copies of this stuff has been taken down, but I've still got 2-year dated ones. I've got videos of it and everything to prove it. And I've also got some things that still predate it anyway. So it's all right. It's all the proof still there. Even I'm sure I've got even original, other original traces of me saying this. Things that I don't, normally didn't say until later, until I started going public. But still, I've got stuff 2 years predating the discoveries. Me saying this, that the story about what I saw. And how Andromeda is smaller. And they were going to collide, but it was smaller. About 2/3 the size. And yeah, for the whole world of astronomy to have to throw away all their tools, all their measurements, all their versions of how things are, everything, all their textbooks, had to throw it all out. Start again. The reason why they discovered this is they got a new tool that was supposed to be better, and that new measurement tool, and that new measurement tool completely contradicted everything. And then they went back and they looked at different things and compared them and stuff, and they realized all their measurement tools had a fundamental flaw. They had it all wrong, and those measurement tools had to throw them all away and start measuring in a completely different way. And as it turns out, I wasn't just a little bit right. I was bullseye right. That you look at their measurements out. I've done videos showing that they tried to they released the truth in little steps because they were so fucking butthurt. They're like, okay, Andromeda's not as big as we thought. Okay, it's about the same size. Oh, okay, it's smaller. Oh, okay, it's considerably smaller. And change the story over and over and over again. I think Wikipedia should actually have the numbers on it, and it fits perfectly in the numbers I said, about 2/3. 2/3, 1/4 this. I said 2/3, 1/4 this, 1/4 this, but 2/3, it's like just dead on right. About 75% is like dead on right what I said. And this is not a one-off thing. I've got an intricate story saying this, predating discoveries before they happen, and I do this over and over and over again. Either I'm the luckiest guesser in the world, or I'm fulfilling prophecy and shit. And those prophecies say that one will come with a story you won't believe from above. So I could talk for hours, but we've got an hour and a half. I better finish it. Yeah, it's a bit over an hour and a half. I could talk all day. I can debate all day and stuff, even when I'm physically well enough. But I just wanted to do this video right now, just have a chat to myself, and if there's anyone who breaks through the censorship of fucking shadow banning and shit. I say the most outrageous things. But just at this video, I say the most outrageous things. And I do joke a lot. But I'm not crazy. I'm not a liar. I mean what I say. And it's all true. And it's all proven. And the so-called experts of your world, the best of the best, they are voices in their head, voices in my head people, marry a 6-year-old people who drink camel piss and eat flies, the people who endorse theft and rape because it's shikama, the people who worship death, the mushroom and penis donkey people, and the best of them all is the kick themselves in their own ass atheists who, according to their own like their own religious doctrine, their own supreme proof, they can't fulfill their own conditions for their own proofs, and I do. As all the statistical impossibilities you could fucking imagine, they're all there. And like some of this stuff gets like full on banned, the rest gets shadow banned, but like still, it's all there. It's like tons of it. So many. I've gone through, like, done long videos of all the statistical. Can't fucking say it. Statistical impossibilities that I fulfill. If I am, and all this, all what I say I am, and all this is all true, am I the good guy or the bad guy? You need to use your own judgment. And you need to think, is this all fantasy or insanity or something? Or is it all true? And you need to deal with it. You need to be thinking, what should I be doing? The only people who have anything to fear from me is what I lay out crystal clear, my rules, over and over again. I'm not out to get vengeance or anything like that. The punishments that I must do are purely to protect the innocent and vulnerable. That's it. For example, a terrorist who's on his way to commit an attack, and and he cannot be talked out of it. He's committed to his course. Got to be eliminated. Where two cannot coexist, one has to die. I prefer both coexist, both exist, not coexist. Both, where I'd prefer to go their own way, away from each other, right? Dogs and cats, if they can't get along, put dogs in dog land, cats in cat land, let them do their own thing. But when one group won't leave another group alone, we've got to pull out a flamethrower to protect that group. I've got to make choices. It's like what I said before about a lion. A lion is charging at a child. He may be a pet lion, and that child may be your daughter. And you can't talk the lion out of it. He's committed to his course. He's acted on instinct. He's made a mistake, and he's going to do it. You got a gun in your hand. You don't want it. You don't want it, but you have to. Like, one lives, one dies. You have to choose. Someone dies, and as a result of your actions or inactions, you're responsible for a death, and that's unavoidable. Sometimes you've got to make a choice like that. Right now, you could be out in the streets saving someone's life, but you're not. You have the power to do all kinds of stuff, to protect the innocent and vulnerable yourself. But are you doing it? Superheroes patrol the streets at night, saving lives and shit. But you're not. I used to actually do that, but patrol the streets at night doing that. But the gist is, for everything that you have the power to do, you are held accountable too, for good or bad. Don't say, I can't do nothing, I can't do this, I can't do anything, I'm useless. Really, what's to stop you putting on a fucking superhero outfit, going out at 12 in the morning, in the middle of the night, to 6 a.m. tonight? No weapons, nothing. Just disarmed, completely unarmed with a superhero outfit on and a mask. You have to wear a mask anyway these days. But in a place where you know there's criminals who are robbing people and picking on children and shit, and just go walking around just for a few hours, admiring the stars, maybe see a UFO or two, and seeing if there's anyone you can help in a place where you know this happens. You're putting your life on the line, yeah. You might die. You might get hurt. But you have the power to potentially save someone's life. And if you don't look, you don't make an effort to try, it ain't gonna happen. But if you did that, you go looking for people who need help, you'll end up helping someone. You have the power to do that. And if you don't do that, you are accountable to the lives you could have saved. You have power. That power was put on you. I understand you may not have even wanted it, but that power was put on you. That was given to you. You were given a life with the powers that you have to do all kinds of stuff. And you are accountable for what you do or don't do. And the lives that you could have saved, you are accountable too. Don't say you can't do nothing. You could get up right now and just walk to the other side of the country. Stop at Macca's over the way every few kilometres, but I'm sick as fuck, but I could probably manage to do it. Moral of the forest comes through a bit there. But there's all kinds of stuff you can do. Things that so easy to do, but you don't. And you make excuses and you lie about it. If I'm in a situation like with the lion and the child, and I have to shoot the lion, I have to make a decision to shoot the lion, I'm responsible for that lion's death. If I'm not responsible for that lion's death, I'm responsible for the little girl's death. I can't avoid it. I'm responsible for someone's death, and I must be held accountable to it. It must be seen and judged by all. And I owe the death that I'm responsible for. I owe it. I owe that life a debt I can never pay, never repay. Either way, I owe a debt. It comes with the power that I have. That's how it works. It works the other way too. The lives you save. You save a life. They owe you a debt you can never pay, never repay. There's all kinds of interventions that you can do right now. Stop lying. Stop making excuses. Stop being a greedy asshole. The world's fucked because people pretend they can't do nothing when they can. They're just lying and making excuses. So get off your ass. Go do something. But getting off your ass can often mean sitting on your ass, like on a computer. The internet, look at my story. An example of when you're physically crippled for a number of years. Almost fucking dead. Look what I did, just on the internet. You can be crippled and change the world. There's no fucking excuse. If you can fucking look at this video, if you can fucking move your hands to press a computer key, that's enough. You don't need to know how far you can do, how much you can, just try. And keep trying and keep doing and see where it goes. That's the moral of the story that I was here to show you by personal example. Either I'm crazy or you're crazy. How are you going to solve that? What are you going to do? There'll be more to come. Whether I'm survive, be around to see it or not. Remember all the things that I said were coming on this world. So much I could say. It's been almost to 2 hours now. But I'm supposedly the insane one, or the liar, or the bad guy. And I'm dealing with the likes of the groups that I said. The biggest of which believe in an imaginary voice in their head telling them secrets. The most influential group says that I'm right and backed up everything that I've said. Well, I'll close this video down in a minute. Food for thought. Either I'm the most elaborate liar in the world, or I'm telling the truth. Maybe you should take seriously what I've been saying. If I'm the judge of judges, you need not be afraid of me. I used to be called the defender. Be called all kinds of names, but I'm not here just to punish. I only punish when I have to. I only punish in order to defend the innocent and vulnerable. Why don't you stop being the bad guy? Why don't you start helping me? Because there'll be nothing to survive if you don't. No one's helping me. Everyone's just sitting on their ass. If you're going to sit on your ass, at least do something on a computer that makes a difference. There's so much you can do. Stop making excuses and stop pretending you can't. All you need to do is try. Yeah, I could compete in the Olympics, sick as fuck as I am, in the 100-meter sprint. I could say, I've got no fucking chance at winning. But I can still fucking try. And I can pull a fucking Bradbury. Everyone in front of me could fucking stack it. I could be fucking slow as a snail. Well, he was. He got the mockery for that, but he really did earn it. But I could be slow as a snail and still fucking win. You don't never know unless you fucking try. The Bradbury story should actually be an inspiration, even though it was taken as a joke. It should be seen as inspiration. You don't know if you don't try. The guy got a gold medal against odds that were just ridiculous. Still fucking managed to do it. You don't know if you don't try, and it doesn't matter if you succeed or not. Try. That's the lesson of the faith that can move mountains. Don't ask someone else to do it. If you really believe in something that much, you won't sit there trying to imagine it to be true. You get off your fucking ass, you pick up a shovel and start digging. It may take you 50 years, but if you keep at it, even if you just do 5 minutes a day, you keep at it, you'll pick up that mountain and you'll move it into the fucking sea. And with that, I'll be off. I could talk all fucking day. No one has the balls to debate me anymore, and I've been too busy programming and shit, and everyone is scared of me these days. They're scared of lightning and shit. And all the fucking shadow banning and shit. Alright, closing the video. And with a press of a button, I'll disappear with a fireball. You hear that click? That was my G1 key.